And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by George Mason, head coach Fred Chao, after his team was able to knock off Harvard to advance to the EIVA championship match. And coach, you guys were able to get the win in 4 this afternoon in the semifinals. How would you assess your team's performance in beating a good Harvard team?
We got the job done. We started off really well, and I think we caught Harvard coming out of the gate kind of slow. And, then the tables turned a little bit on us, but I think we built up enough kind of in the bank there to last us through the match.
And coach, and talking about your team's performance, one player in particular, Wilson, he had 20 plus kills a night. What was he able to do to be so offensively successful?
He's a large guy, and if we're getting him the ball up high and in his wheelhouse, he can do some good things. And for a lot of the night, our passing was real good.
Yeah.
The issue came down when our passing we pulled the setter off the net a little bit, and still had to get Jack the ball. Now tonight, Jack really was able to still come through, and that was big for us, especially in the fourth set when it was really tight.
Yeah, and talking about that fourth set, you guys were able to make a run late in that game to be able to secure the victory. What was kind of that turning point that allowed you guys to go, I believe it was like a 4-0, 4-1 run late in that fourth game?
If I can remember one play in that fourth set late, would be a solo block that Brian Negron had on, I'm pretty sure it was DJ White. That was just something to say, hey, we're going to put our foot back on the gas.
Yeah. And coach, we've talked about a couple of your players, but one player I do want to ask about is the freshman of the year for the EIVA, Brian Nygren. And can you just talk about his development at the center and what we can expect for him really not only Friday night but the next 3 years for you guys?
I think he still has a lot of development in him, which is great because he's already a very capable center and can do a lot of good things. I think growing up in the system that he grew up in, it's a different culture, it's a different type of coaching than I do. And I think that pretty much took the entire year for him to get used to. I'm not going to yell and scream at him. I'm not going to be in his face between every point. So for him to really get comfortable running the show, I think took some time. But now that he understands that, he's got that leeway and he can play the game the way he wants to play it, I think now that he's more comfortable doing that, it's a lot better for him.
Yeah. And looking ahead for your team, you have Penn State coming up on Friday, and I'm sure you know all the stats as well as everyone does about Penn State and just their recent dominance in this tournament. But what do you guys have to do on Friday night to be able to pull off the upset and win the EIVA championship?
We have to be aggressive. We have to maintain our aggressiveness, and we have to just, they're the big dogs. So anytime you're going to challenge the big dog, you got to be prepared to go the whole way. You can't poke at them and then hide away. You got to go the entire time, and whatever happens at the end of that is going to happen. And that's really all I'm asking my guys to do is just to maintain a level of aggressiveness. Whether we're winning points or they're winning points, we just got to keep pushing.
Yeah. And, you may not know this until Friday, but, just you have such a young team. What's kind of the personality of this team? Is this going to be a team that's going to get a little nervous going into a championship match, or are they going to just relish the opportunity?
Yeah, I think this year, this has been 15 years straight for me, and I've tried to change my attitude about it as well and kind of let the guys have some fun with it. There's enough in them that really wants to do really well. I don't need to add anything to it. So, if I can kind of stay out of their way and give them what they need to know and let them just be themselves, I think that's our best chance. If I start to impose, a lot of, hey, we have to do this, we need to do this has to get done, then they lose themselves in it and they end up not really playing very well. And I like this guy. I trust these guys. And as long as I can do my part and stay out of their way, I think that gives them a better chance.